I'm solo tonight. I'm going to count on the chat to carry me through. Oh, my God. I got the wrong mic set up and everything. Oh, that's how this goes. I'm going to count on the chat to pull me through. We're going to talk about some of the changes to the Bengals cornerback room, some updates on where the stadium situation is, and then I'm going to do a mock draft as a known ball not knower. And we're just going to see how the board shakes out coming up before the draft here on Thursday. Already had a technical issue. Don't know if it's fixed. That's what this show's all about, and we're starting it right now.
Your boys are ready to go. You already know. Grab a garage beer, let's flow. No filter needed, beers getting deleted. It's the Cincy Unfiltered show, let's go. Our boys are ready to go. Our boys are ready to go. You already know. Grab a garage beer, let's flow. No filter needed, beers getting deleted. It's the Cincy Unfiltered show, let's go. Our boys are ready to go.
I don't know if that sounded as bad as it appears that it sounded, but that's kind of how this show's built. We're going to talk about some things going on. Mike Hilton's future in Cincinnati is pretty much written. That is over. There was an update on what's going on with the stadium situation between the county and the Bengals as their lease deadline comes up. I had some more stuff coming out, and then I'm going to tell you how much I don't know about football when I do a live mock draft. Screen share with you guys here to start this off. Ron is at an undisclosed location. I've got the Reds game on in the background. Also, I believe they're already down 1 run to Miami, who stinks. So take that for what you will. K Breezy, first in the chat. This was at 11:09 a.m. Step your game up, John. Breezy beat you there. Wedge is here. Drift King's here. Mike Cannon's here. Eric Lumpkin's here. Greg Luther's here. John's here. You will be drinking garage beer with me Friday at the Project Game Day event. I've got 2 tickets to that for sale. Somebody couldn't go. 2 tickets to that for sale. If you missed it, holler at me. I got 2 tickets for you. At cost. I'm trying to get my friend their money back. But if not, I'll probably just pay for them and give them away. So whatever you think's right. That jersey, yeah, I got the gray Ellie De La Cruz Reds jersey on. I felt like I always wear Bengals stuff. Feel like I show a little love to the Reds. Cam's here, Houday. Digital Sauce is here, Houday. Tony Blaze is here, Houday. Stranger 4420 is here, Houday. So let's get right into it. As the Bengals came back in for OTAs this week, Kelsey Conway got a report from inside the building that the plan for the slot corner, not Dax Hill. As I have said on this show several times, I thought that's what the plan was. Just goes to show you, I'm a big dumb dipshit. I don't know what I'm talking about. It's actually going to be Josh Newton taking the slot cornerback role. So what that essentially means is Dax Hill is going to stay outside. Josh Newton's going to go into the slot, and then Cam Taylor-Britt is going to start on the outside. Now, to me, I don't love that. There was a tweet from Andrew Russell. I think that Josh Newton has only played 101 snaps in the slot between college and the pros. So another year, the Bengals putting another player out of position. I don't necessarily love that. I think Josh Newton showed a lot of promise as a depth piece, not a starter yet on the outside, but he played some on the outside last year. Cam Taylor-Britt was getting benched. Dax got hurt. DJ got hurt. Things were downhill. And it seems like the odd man out in the cornerback room based on this is DJ Turner. And I think that's taking one of their better corners off the field. Now this is April. Oh, thought somebody hit a piss missile. They didn't. This is April. So there's going to be OTAs. There's going to be mini camps. There's going to be training camp. All of this stuff is subject to change based on the performances, mostly in training camp, maybe some in the preseason because we've heard that starters are going to play a little bit more. I don't necessarily agree with making Josh Newton your starting slot corner when Dax Hill played so much of it at Michigan and played it so well. I understand that he played very well outside last year before he blew his knee out. He was playing damn good football at an outside corner. So I can understand keeping him there. I would almost put DJ Turner in the slot if I was going with somebody other than Dax Hill. I think DJ Turner, he's a little bit smaller, but he's faster. He's more fluid. I think that he could do it. I don't necessarily love this. I don't know what the chat seems to think. Let's see. Let's see how many Michigan players we can mock draft. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to. Now, if one falls to me and a guy's there that I think should go at that spot, I'm not going to hesitate to do it. But I'm not going to seek them out. I ran a few practice mocks today. I think only one of them I ended up with a Michigan player. So take that for what you will. Houday from the car. Keep your eye on the road. Do not crash, but you can listen along. I'm big Tate Ratledge guy. I don't know if you saw, I posted a jersey mock-up from Bengals Graphics on my Instagram story. Tate Ratledge, hit the like button on it. Kind of tells me guy's a Bengal, right? Dak's a swing corner, next man up for all corner spots. Yeah, I could see that. I could see that. How big of a leash will Cam Taylor-Britt have till he's benched? That's a good question. We saw Lou sit him down last year. Al may have a different perspective on things. I still believe that Cam Taylor-Britt is going to start trending back upward rather than continue to slump. But to your point, I think that he may start off with a short leash after how last year went. And maybe that is when a DJ Turner gets his spot. Luke Kandra enthusiast in the middle late rounds. Like Luke Kandra. The Folding Warehouse is going to explode when we scoop Ratledge on Friday. Dude, I don't know who all is going to be there. I hope to see many of you. But I hope that if the Bengals select Tate Ratledge on Friday night, somebody's got a camera on my face because I'm going nuts. I'm pushing that agenda as hard as I possibly can until it either happens or it doesn't happen and I'm heartbroken. But I'm riding that out to the bitter end, baby. I am on the Tate Ratledge train. Put him next to Amarius Mims. Get that Georgia connection going back up. Replace Alex Kappa. He's probably a day one starter if you get your hands on him. I like that guy that much. And kind of to my point, Joe Goodbeer had some good thoughts on this after it came out yesterday. The Bengals continue to misunderstand their young talent, and that is it seems like it's been a trend. He follows up, says, don't get me wrong, Josh Newton does need to be inside, but Dax should be the starting slot corner, which is what I've said. I thought it was so blatantly obvious that I've had conversations on the show and on Twitter telling people like Dax is going to start inside. They're letting Mike Hilton go so Dax can come play inside. That is truly, truly what I thought. I thought it was so obvious that it had to be the plan. Clearly, I'm a big dumb dipshit. I was wrong. Your best three corners are Dax, Cam Taylor-Britt, and DJ Turner. I also agree with that. Benching one in favor of Newton is something. Got to let them all compete. Now, again, this is April. Maybe we're overreacting early. That's possible. But typically, if the Bengals have a plan, they stick to that plan unless something forces them off of it, like an injury or something of the sort. So I don't necessarily have a ton of faith that that's not what we're going to see on week one, barring an injury or any unforeseen circumstance, unless DJ Turner just goes out there in camp and is completely undeniable, whether that be outside or if he gets looks on the inside. But I do agree with Joe here in this point where he's saying you're essentially taking one of your better cornerbacks off of the field in favor of benching, not to be a jerk here, but a fifth-round rookie. Second-year player who was a fifth-round rookie last year. I don't know that I necessarily agree that. Let me know your thoughts in the chat. I'm going to rely on the chat tonight, carrying this program all by myself, putting it on my shoulders, I put the team on my back, and that's what we're going to do today. Honest Fan, hey, what's up, buddy? How you doing? I'm glad to see you here. Drift King, you're going to the draft party Friday? That's dope. I look forward to seeing you there. Drew's going to finger his draft cup magic and explode his garage beer everywhere when Tate Ratledge is announced to the Bengals. That is graphic, but not inaccurate. CTB bounce back season is going to be glorious. Everyone counting them out going to eat their words. I tend to agree. I've been saying that really since the struggles last year. Far more likely, in my opinion, that he goes back up than continues to slump. If you were at St. Patty's Day, there's a sign that says, don't finger your cup. And this big dumb dick shit fingered his cup and got garage beer everywhere. I don't remember that. It sounds like something I would do. That sounds like me. I don't remember doing it. But, oh, you're talking about they got the cups with the little ring at the bottom and the beer goes at bottom fills and goes up. And they got like the magnet thing that keeps it sealed. I did finger that. And yeah, I do remember that now that you say that. When game one hits, it'll be Cam Taylor-Britt, Turner, Hill, unless Turner starts on pup. DJ Turner said he's 100% healthy. He did an interview somewhere. I can't remember who had it. He said he's 100% healthy. So I don't think he's going to start the season on PUP. Kelsey Conley said it wasn't necessarily the plan, but it's the current situation. Dax isn't even on the field yet. And that's true, too. Dax is coming back from probably a more serious injury than DJ Turner, which is the torn ACL. So if anybody's a PUP candidate, it probably is Dax rather than DJ, I would think. And that's the current situation. So that's true, too. Like you said, these things can change. It's only April. Trey the Champ, I'm watching for the first time. I just subscribed. Trey, shout out to you. I appreciate you. Did we just talk on Twitter? I think we just talked on Twitter right before the show. Yeah, it was the magnet thing, Breezy. I did do that. Cam became a dad this offseason. No more late nights clubbing for him. He's going to be fully locked. Hey, when Logan Wilson became a dad, he was a different animal that year. That dad strength, that shit really happens. I did not know that Cam Taylor-Britt just became a dad. Shout out to him. Congratulations. But maybe you're right. Maybe he's in the house a little bit more now. Maybe he's chilling. Maybe he's staying out the way. I like that. Trey, that is you. Okay, yeah, I got to check on what we talked about, but I'll keep in touch with you. I'm trying to help somebody out with getting rid of those tickets to the draft party for Friday night as their plans change and 2 people are not able to go. And then we had some news on the stadium today. There's been a fight between the Bengals and Hamilton County that we have all been well aware of if you live anywhere near the Bengals Twitter world. Today it was reported the Bengals and Hamilton County are set to approve an agreement that will work toward an $830 million stadium renovation finalized by July of 2029. I believe the plan is the county is committing right now. Piss missile! Novale Marte, solo shot in Miami. Novale Marte, I think I'm saying that right. Piss missile. He's trying to keep the third base job. Nuked it. Out of there. Tied up. 1-1 Reds, top of the third. No out. All right. So, sorry, I got distracted by a piss missile. It happens. But I believe that the plan for the stadium that has been agreed to by the two sides is an initial $185 million from the county, and it could turn into this $830 million by the end of 2029. Obviously, this is a good sign for the lease negotiations happening. There is a June 30th deadline for them to extend their lease, maybe go a smaller year-to-year thing. They have a few options in play, but this is a big step into getting that done. I think one of the big holdups from the Bengals side about signing the new lease was how much the county was going to help with renovations and upkeep of the stadium. Mike Brown ain't trying to spend his own money. We all know how it is. Billionaires don't want to spend their own money. So I think it's a good sign. I did say on Twitter today that it doesn't resolve the lease drama. Everybody told me I was an idiot. It definitely does, and now it's just a formality. I think that there's probably still more to it than that, but some people think I'm a dumbass, so we'll just go with that. But I do think that it is a good sign. They have a plan to kind of fully encompass the practice field, the stadium, the new permanent indoor facility, make it all one campus so we don't have people walking across the street to go to practice and all the jokes on the internet and shit like that. So I think that this is a big step in keeping the Bengals downtown. I haven't thought that there was a big chance they were going to leave downtown for Mason or Loveland or worst case scenario Covington. I never thought that that was going to happen, but the county being willing to put up this money at this point, I think is a big step. I think a lease ends up getting executed and everything's going to be fine. I just don't think it's on a straight line to it like some other people may think, but this is absolutely a big step and a big commitment from the county to keep that thing going. So you love to see that. Let's check back in. Sleeper Bengals says, I know who tweeted that. It was you. Yeah. I saw it on the timeline. Decided to screen cap it and throw it on here. Dax reposted his girls' post on IG of them doing Pilates together, working his way back. I did see that. There's a Pilates studio somewhere in Cincinnati that I know DJ Turner goes to, Dax goes to. I've seen it on the internet too. Dax is definitely looking like he's in good shape, but there's no timeline being put on it. Novale is so back. He is. He's absolutely back. He's going to stay called up. I think he's going to hold down third base, and Candelario's maybe going to go away somewhere. Marte's job to lose. Candy has to stay on the bench. Yeah, absolutely. I think that's where we are. Greg says, big news with the Bengals in Hamilton County. I know nothing is set in stone, but I can't see it going backwards from there. And you're right. It's such a big step that leads you to believe it's going to get done. People just were replying to me today saying that like they feel like it's a straight shot and it's easy. And I don't necessarily agree with that. When you got billionaires and politicians fighting, they can fight over the dumbest shit. And it can kind of throw a wrench into everything. But I do think ultimately it does get done. And then some more Bengals news. They have reworked Zach Moss's contract, the final year of his deal, to get guaranteed money. So the Bengals willingly reworked a deal to add guarantees, which is not like them. The deal was done by his agents Jamal Tuzin and Kate Ferrara. Moss is recovering from a neck injury that cut last season short. Clearly, the team is confident in his return. And what this tells me, they are not going to draft a running back high. They're not going to draft a running back on the first 2 days. Everybody knows I got into a little bit of shit on the internet because I didn't want a second-round running back. And this all but confirms that they will not do it. That doesn't say they won't take one in the 4th, 5th, 6th round. They possibly could. If they pick up another draft pick in a trade or something, they could do it there. But they're not going to draft one on the first 2 nights of the draft. They just committed guaranteed money to Zach Moss. They intend to get use out of Zach Moss. So what you're probably going to be looking at is a running back room where Chase Brown is your starter. Zach Moss is your running back. Samaje Perine is there for utility, the third running back, and then maybe a rookie. So I think that takes running back off the board. I know they met with Quinshon Judkins and Travion Henderson. I think this is a shock. I thought Zach Moss was going to get cut. So him sticking around leads me to believe that they're not interested in any of their premium picks going to a running back. And for how I would draft and my feelings on the situation, I think that's a good thing. Hot take from a non-ball. No, I know, man. I know. Well, I'm just spewing them out. I cut the mics on and I say the dumb shit. Taj Brooks in the 6, absolutely. Completely fine with that. I'm cool with a running back anywhere 4 to 6, honestly. I'd probably prefer 5 or 6, but anywhere on day 3, I'm not going to bitch about it too much. I absolutely hate wasting a roster spot on Moss when there was like about 20 guys better than him in this draft. That's true. I also don't know that. I don't want to say Zach Moss wasn't given a chance last year because he was. There were times where I was clamoring for Chase Brown to get the ball more. But he had the injury. It's not a run-heavy offense for him to kind of duplicate what he did in Indianapolis that year when Jonathan Taylor was out. But it's not something I'm going to fight you with on either way. If they would have moved on from Zach Moss, I'd have said I totally get it. Save the $4 million. You can get a rookie that's as good or better. So I understand your thinking on that. It's just not something that I'm not dying on the hill on either side either. Contract guys who would also be cheaper to take a guy late in the draft. Yeah, it definitely would be cheaper. It definitely would be cheaper. My Ring doorbell went off and I was making sure that there was nobody like at my door. And it's just like, there's a dog loose near your house. And I don't give a shit. So I apologize for that. I was just making sure I wasn't under attack. Somebody, what would you guys do if you were live and somebody just home invaded me? That'd be wild. Anyway. So yeah, I think that takes the running back off the board at any premium pick, any day 1 or 2 pick, I would have to say. And then all of this corner stuff that we talked about, I probably didn't do this in order. That spells the end of the Mike Hilton era, and that makes me sad. Big Mike Hilton fan. I understand it. He's on the wrong side of 30. They don't like to give those contracts out. I still think he played good football last year. I think that it's a shock to me that he hasn't landed somewhere. But when they come out and say, we got our new slot corner, that is telling you that Mike Hilton is gone, unless somehow he lingers later and there's an injury, familiarity, cheap deal. Maybe they bring him back. But I enjoyed the Mike Hilton era. I think Mike Hilton deserves a lot of credit for helping change the culture. He came from Pittsburgh where they won a lot. That 2021 season where the Bengals went all the way to the Super Bowl, I think that he deserves a lot of credit for helping turn that culture around and being a veteran presence on that defense as they ushered in the young guys like the Logan Wilsons. And, he had some mentorship here, of course, with Cam Taylor-Britt, Dax Hill, DJ Turner. He worked with all those guys. Now, I know that they play different positions, so he wasn't giving them like outside corner tips. He was never an outside guy. But man, like, him coming off the edge and stuffing Derrick Henry in that divisional game, that 2021 year, that big hit on Josh Allen in a divisional round 2022. I don't like that he started the Burrowhead thing. I'm not going to lie to you. Never liked it. But still, I look back fondly on Mike Hilton's tenure with the Cincinnati Bengals, and I just hope he doesn't end up back in Pittsburgh because that feels like something that might happen, and that would stink. I wouldn't like that. I don't know why they didn't just make Mike Hilton linebacker too. Yeah, he's not quite big enough for that, but man, he played like a linebacker. He did. He played like a linebacker. And we still don't know what's going on with Jermaine Pratt either. He has no reason to sign right now. Wait until post-draft so he has the best shot to start. And that's absolutely true. There's a lot of guys doing that. That might be the hang-up on Dalton Risner, where there's been a lot of talk about Dalton Risner. I don't know why the Bengals don't just get it done. Dalton Risner, Tate Ratledge, let's go win a fucking Super Bowl. But I digress. A lot of these guys are probably waiting until after the draft to see where can I have the best chance to start, and I don't have a first or second round rookie breathing down my neck as I'm trying to, play out the last few years of my career. Completely understand that. I don't like it for Dalton Risner. I think he should already be a Bengal, but it is what it is. Taj Brooks is a far better pass blocker than any other day 3 running back, and he's decent at everything. 230 pounds, runs a 4.5. Yeah, Taj Brooks is a guy that I like. I'm not going to lie to you and say that I've taken a deep dive into all the running backs in this class. I haven't. I know about TreVeyon Henderson. I know about Quinshad Judkins. I know a little bit about Taj Brooks because a lot of people have talked about him, but I am not going to pretend to be an expert on any of these guys, to be completely honest with you. It's a good time to tell you, after I've been talking for a while, that this show is proudly brought to you by Garage Beer. Delicious beer-flavored beer. Let's get a pop. Ooh! That one's awake. And you can get this delicious beer-flavored beer by going to www.drinkgaragebeer.com. Click the beer finder up there in the top left. Give it your location or enter your zip code. You're going to find bars, restaurants, gas stations, anywhere that sells this delicious beer-flavored beer, so you can enjoy it and refresh it. It's peak lime season. 70-some degrees outside. People are mowing their grass. I've taken that as a shot. As we know, a few weeks ago here, about 20 days ago now, about 3 weeks ago, my neighbor Dave sadly passed away. There's no more lawn competition, but his wife is keeping the train rolling. Lawn care guys were there today getting it all banged up. She got her trash cans back up before me, so she's keeping the legacy alive. Shout out to her. But this is lime season, folks. Pool season's about to be here. Boat season is about to be here, which I am not excited for as a boat owner. But yeah, it's a great beer. And obviously you got the regular light beer. If you don't like the lime taste, I totally get it. Get the white can. It's delicious itself. www.drinkgaragebeer.com. Was that a good ad read? I felt like that sounded ad readish. This is a good time. Please hit the like button. Please hit the like button if you're watching on YouTube. We would appreciate that. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. You can even turn on notifications so you get notifications when we go live. I usually say when we go live or post content. We are not good about posting clips and stuff to YouTube. I don't know if you're supposed to. You probably are supposed to, but I'm a YouTube idiot. I don't really know how all this shit works. I just turn it on. We just really we hope for the live audience most of the time. How do I not like boat season? Because I don't know how to operate this fucking boat that I own. I don't know shit about it. When it came time to get my boating license, I just had my wife log in and take the test for me. So I don't know how to fix it. I don't know how to diagnose issues with it. And I honestly don't like fucking with it, but I will be fucking with it a lot this summer because my wife said so. And well, I don't fucking run the show around this joint. And maybe once we figure it out and get it out there, I'll enjoy it more. But as of right now, it's a big old pain in the ass. Very clean ad read. Appreciate that. Try to bring some amount of professionalism to this fucking shit show that we run every Tuesday. Breezy with the boat emoji. Yeah. It's sitting out there. It's just waiting. Sure, the battery's dead. Probably gonna have to take that out and get it charged up. All that good shit. Yeah. Gotta love it. Actually, you don't have to love it. You're allowed to hate it, and I hate it. But anyway, let's get on to this mock draft. non-ball knower. I'm a big doofus. I don't know shit, but I'm going to run through all 7 picks. I'm using the Pro Football Network mock draft simulator. I did not forget to tell people how they can drink garage beer. I know I told people how to find garage beer, Breezy. Whose jersey am I wearing? I got the 44 on me tonight. Move the chair out. The Ellie De La Cruz, the gray, the Rhodes, the one he's wearing. He's actually up to bat right now. Good segue. Let's watch Ellie's at bat before we go into the mock draft. Maybe he'll hit a nuke. I didn't bet anything tonight. I didn't gamble. Probably should have, but I didn't. But let's just see what Ellie does before we move on to the mock draft, since it was the perfect time to tell everybody I was wearing the jersey. Didn't know they were wearing the gray. He struck out. All right, fuck. So let's go back to the mock draft. I've got the Pro Football Network mock draft simulator pulled up. I tried to get this to be a full half of the screen. Can't get it to work. Don't know what I'm doing wrong. This is what we're going to go with. So I've got it set for a full 7-round mock. Bengals only have 6 picks as of right now, obviously, but we will entertain trade offers. I got it set to fast mode so we don't waste a bunch of your time. Actually, I don't. I need to get it set to fast mode so I don't waste a bunch of your time, and we can review the board after it goes through. But before we do that, we got one. My dad says, I really disagree with you about football, but I still think Green should be the first pick. Did some research, and the legal stuff is BS, especially since we don't know what's going on with Trey. Now, I do understand that. I do completely understand that. But the mock hasn't started yet. I'm not against Mike Green in the mock. I'm not against Mike Green at 17 if they've done their homework and they feel the off-the-field stuff is not enough of a concern to keep them away. I don't want that to bite us in the ass, but we haven't done the mock yet. I might take Mike Green at 17 right here. You're just going to have to tune in and find out. So I've got it pulled up here, only controlling the Bengals. Fast, 7 full rounds. Let's start it. Let's see how the board shakes out before 17. All right, we got trade offers. Pick 38, pick 69. That's not moving me enough to do anything. Pick 26 and pick 90. Let's keep it. Let's keep it on pause. Let's see how the board played out first. So let's see. At 1, we've got Cam Ward to the Titans. They did say today they're staying at 1. They will not be fielding trade offers, so Cam Ward is going to be that pick. They got the Browns going with Shador at 2. I think they're locked in on Travis Hunter, personally. But this is a mock draft simulator. I'm going to point this out. I post mock drafts on Twitter. It was like, you're a fucking idiot. That guy's not going to be there. Listen, bro, the board's coming to me. I'm playing the board how I would play it in real life if it went that way. Back the hell off. Travis Hunter, 3rd to the New York Giants. Abdul Carter going to New England. Armand Mimbu going to the Jags. Will Johnson, Michigan man, going to the Raiders. Mason Graham, Michigan man, going to the Jets. Will Campbell, offensive tackle, going to the Panthers. Shamar Stewart going to the Saints. Kelvin Banks Jr. Going to the Bears. Tyler Warren, the tight end, to San Francisco. George Kittle's in a little bit of a contract dispute. Are they going to replace him? Tyler Warren? And then Mike Green, Dad, your guy, Mike Green, going as high as 12 to the Dallas Cowboys. They're in kind of a weird contract spot with Micah Parsons, but at least for now, you got Micah Parsons, Mike Green on the same defensive line. That could get scary. And then we have a trade here. Miami received pick 13, or I'm sorry, Miami traded to pick 13. I'm an idiot. I cannot read. Denver got pick 13. Miami got pick 20, pick 51. Denver traded up for McMillan, the wide receiver out of Arizona. A lot of people really, really like him. Derek Harmon, 14 to the Colts. A lot of people have had him tied to the Bengals as well. Colston Loveland, Michigan man, 15 to the Atlanta Falcons. Give Michael Penix a new weapon. And then Mykel Williams, another guy that I have seen some mocks with the Bengals at, goes a pick ahead of them at 17. Trade offers. I don't like dropping that far back. I'm dropping out of the first round. If I really love my guy, I want to keep his 5th-year option. Going back to 26, looking at the board, like Ashton Jennings still here. That's crazy. Obviously, it's just a mock draft simulator. I don't control this shit. I'm playing the board as it comes to me. Jelon Walker's still there. Matthew Golden, not going to be of interest. Malachi Starks is there. Nick Moore is there. Two very, very good safety prospects. Josh Simmons from Ohio State there. Tyler Booker's there. Want nothing to do with him. Jahad Campbell did get cleared. I don't know if he got cleared. They said he tracks to be ready to go by training camp after the labrum injury. They showed a video of him running today. I thought it was a torn labrum in his shoulder the whole time. Apparently, it was a hip labrum. He's there. Walter Nolan's there. I've seen him mock the Bengals. At 26, I could trade back to 26, pick up pick 90, but then I got to give up 193. I'm really only interested in adding draft capital. I'm not really interested in swapping to stay with 6 picks. The second in 2026 does nothing for me right now. So I'm going to reject these trade offers. I'm going to check in with the chat, see what anybody's feeling. Anybody's giving me any tips. I don't know shit that says let's roll through these 7 picks when we have 6. I think I corrected it though. I think I said 7 rounds, but I'm going to do a 7-round mock in case I tried to pick up more picks. I think I did that right. But very, 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 very possible that I didn't. Breezy, we're going to get to that. Appreciate you being a company man. No, I'm not drafting Ashton Jenny here. Absolutely the hell not. Trade back for Walter Nolan is one that was on there. I just don't think that it lands me enough. I don't think I get enough back because I got to give away 193. And on these simulators, unless I'm missing something, I can't really counter with a different offer. So I kind of have to take what they give me. I can't really counter and say I want to keep 193 too. I don't think I can do that. Jahad Campbell and Logan Wilson, that's fun to think about. Bengals going to take Shamar Stewart and I'll be pissed. What did he have, 1.5 sacks last year? Yikes. Campbell or Nolan. So some moves for Malachi Starks from A1224. Shout out to you. There was a counter? Oh, hold on. If there's a counter, let me look. Oh, I rejected him. Well, I'd be a shitty GM. I can't read. The only thing I can do is restart the whole draft. I think for quality control purposes, I need to restart because I didn't know that was possible. And for the best product that you guys deserve, I need to do that. I didn't realize there was a counter, and I picked the wrong speed. 7 rounds fast. Get rid of the free ad. Bengals, let's go. I apologize. We're going to restart. I didn't know there was a counter offer. So let me try that again. It's the same. It is. It's the same option, and it says counter right there in the middle. All right. Man, 34 and a first next year for a team that might stink. Could be good, but in this scenario, it's not doing anything for me. I'm only focused on this year. 17 for 22? And a second next year? So they've given me 2 offers. Oh, that's the Rams. That's the Rams. How can I counter? All right, so if I take off their second, let's see what happens. They didn't do it. You guys stink. All right, what if I counter it with, I take that off. I take next year's second off. So I'm just going from 17 to 26 and picking up 90. All right, we're going to do that. Let's see how the board went. I'm not trading with the Chiefs ever. Fuck them. I'm not interested in dropping out of the first. So that's all the offers. Let's see how this board's played out since 17. Whoa. They flipped it. Got Pittsburgh Shedeur Sanders. I don't like being a part of helping Pittsburgh get their franchise quarterback. Jesus. Well, that's probably because Pittsburgh was on the phone with the Bengals, knew they weren't going to play that ball game, and they found the way to get the Rams to flip it. I don't like being a part of it, but that's the way it goes. We're going to do it. So Shedeur Sanders goes to Pittsburgh at 17. Tyler Booker, wasn't interested in him. Malachi Starks would have loved to have him. Jahad Campbell would have liked to have him. Not big on Jelon Walker. Colston Loveland goes to the Chargers with Jim Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh reunited with the Michigan man. Michael Williams. Nick Manwari is gone, and Greg Zabel is gone. So now when we look at the board, I think this is an easy choice. I think you easily take Walter Nolan in this situation. You were able to trade back to his prospective his projected draft spot. He's a guy that's been mocked to the Bengals a lot. They visited with him multiple times in the draft process. I think he's somebody they like. If I'm thinking like I'm Duke Tobin, who didn't sound like he was shutting down the idea of trading and adding picks in this situation, I get another pick inside the top 100. I get a guy that I like, that I showed a lot of interest in, at a position of need. I've got to hammer this pick home, and we're going to take Walter Nolan. I feel like that's a great trade back scenario. Again, I've got an offer from Denver. Trade back 2 spots, pick up 122. Let's look at the board. Let's see who's there. Since our last pick, let's see who's gone off the board. Kenneth Grant from Michigan to the Chiefs breaks my fucking heart. Oh, that makes me so sad. Izaraku to Baltimore, Nick Scorton to Detroit, James Pierce Jr. to Washington, Josh Simmons to the Jets, Kenneth Grant to Kansas City, which just makes me want to cry. Somebody said, what about Jackson Dart? We don't need a quarterback. Rebel from East Carolina to the Eagles. They get another corner. Jackson Dart to the Browns. I don't know. I think all these quarterbacks except for Cam Ward are just like maybe they'll be good, maybe they won't. Even Shador. And then Donovan Jackson goes to the Giants. Emeka Ibuka goes to the Titans to play with Cam Ward in this draft. Josh Connerly from Oregon goes to the Seahawks after they traded with the Jags. Trey Amos goes to the Raiders. Luther Burden to the Patriots. Tyleik Williams from Ohio State to the Niners after a swap with the Bears. Amorian Hampton goes to the Saints. Quinshad Judkins to the Bears. Landon Jackson, another guy that I like that I think the Bengals have some legitimate interest in, goes to the Bills after a trade with the Jets, a little in-division trade. Mason Taylor from LSU to the Bears. They're loading up for Caleb Williams. This one here, the Ravens trade with Dallas and get Maxwell Harrison. Solid first couple rounds for them. JT Tumalo from Ohio State to the Falcons. Travion Henderson to the Cardinals, reunites with Marvin Harrison Jr. Wyatt Millum to the Dolphins, and now we are on the clock. I really like Xavier Watts here. What was my trade offer? I'm going to do it because I think Watts will be there. I'm going to do it. Not trading with Cleveland. You're the enemy. Fuck you. I'm not interested in dropping down that far, so we're going to reject that. Xavier Watts is still there. But where is my shining prince? Where's my shining prince on this board? 63. I'm not picking again until 81. I'm drafting Tate Rowledge. I'm getting my starting guard. I don't care where he's ranked. Now, I agree with Ryan Sparks here. They would 100% draft Watts there. Notre Dame guy, Al Golden guy. Position of need, I think Xavier Watts is going to be a hell of a prospect. Tate Ratledge is not going to be there at 81 for me. And maybe this is not me acting as if I'm Duke Tobin. Maybe this is me acting as if I'm Drew Garrison. I fucking love Tate Ratledge. I think Tate Ratledge is going to be a dog for 10 years. I like the fact that he's used to playing next to Mims. We have glaring holes at the guard position. Even if I'm reaching a little bit based on this board, I don't give a shit. I'm locking in Tate Ratledge. Dart said Tate over Watts also. I'm not dropping back to 99. Not doing it. Clicking the wrong screen. I'm an idiot. All right. Now let's get back to all of the prospects. Let's see kind of how this board has played out since we last picked. Come on. Tate Ratledge goes to us. Thomas from Florida State to the Seahawks. Benjamin Morrison to the Bucks. Jalen Royals to the Packers. Jalen Milroe to the Giants. They get a quarterback. Darius Alexander from Toledo going to the Bills. Trey Harris from Ole Miss to Cleveland. Got a text from text from Josh. Ezra to the Texans. Caleb Johnson to the Cowboys. TJ Sanders to the Cardinals. Carson Swearinger to the Commanders. That guy from UCLA to the Eagles. Princely Umanian to the man. Kansas City's having a good draft. Jaden Higgins, a guy a lot of people like, going to the Buffalo Bills. Jack Beck to the Chargers. Emory Jones to the Chiefs. Xavier Watts, guy that was on my board, to the Panthers. They traded back and got him with Cleveland. Andrew Makuba, another safety prospect on the Bengals radar, I think, to the Raiders. Darian Porter to the Patriots. Harold Fannin Jr. to the Jags. Alfred Collins to the Saints. Swinson to the Bears. Billy Bowman to the Bills. Jared Wilson to the Panthers. Kyle Williams to the Niners. Kevin Winston Jr. to the Cowboys. Jordan Birch to the Patriots. Eric, I don't know. That guy. And then Chris Paul Jr., another guy that mocked to the Bengals. Now, we are sitting at 81. No trade offers, except for the one I already declined. So if I break the board down by offense, we don't really need tackles. I understand people are maybe starting to plan for life after Orlando Brown Jr., but I really don't think we do. Let's look at the defensive side here. Barrett Carter is a guy I saw mock to the Bengals today. Omar Norman Lott is iffy, I think. Looking back at our picks, we got a D tackle, we got a guard. How far do I want to reach for a safety here? You know what I mean? Like, I think we could use a safety. This is a place where I would honestly sound like a homer, but I start to look at, is Josiah Stewart available on this board? I think he's got a lot of upside. You saw him in that USC game last year, especially. Jalen Reed's there at safety, but I don't love that. They got Josiah Stewart down there at 123. Man, that's tough. It's a tough spot to be in. Like, not taking a quarterback, not taking it. I wouldn't take a tight end. I do like Gillette from Louisville. A little better than Kennard. They're not going to overdraft a safety because they're running it back with Geno Stone and Jordan Battle, who should have played more last year. Let's get him. Let's get us an edge rusher. Ashton Gillette. I don't know how to pronounce that, from Louisville. We're going to take him here. Now I'm back up at 90. No trade offers. See, this is where it gets tough. Because I'm not going to lie to you. This is where I stop knowing about guys. Let's see here. Well, I just saw your text. I just saw your text, and I went against your wishes. I did. He said, don't give up 17 if nothing else. Get the best available offensive lineman. I didn't do that, obviously. I traded back. But I got a good defensive lineman. And then I got my guard that I was looking for. So I didn't do exactly what you wanted. Don't disown me. I'm sorry. Like, you could get Barrett Carter here and maybe replace Jermaine Pratt now, if we're being honest. If you ask for Peen, you stop knowing around round 1, pick 1. That's true. But I don't know ball, guys. Help me through this. I'm a non-ball knower. Barrett Carter's a good pick, but honestly not realistic to be here. I kind of agree with that. For whatever reason, that's the way the board came. I got to look at my other screen here, so that's why you're getting this nice view of the side of my face. I know they've met with Charles Grant. Might be a little high for him there. But if we start looking at, strictly offensive players, he is the highest left on the board. The Notre Dame linebacker wedge, I think you're talking about Jack Kaiser. I think he's going to be there later. Oh, Ryan Sparks says Barrett Carter will be there 4th and 5th in the real draft. Makuba has been drafted. There's been talks. The Bengals love the versatile offensive lineman. If I'm working from the mindset of the Cincinnati Bengals in this situation, I think I'm taking Charles Grant because he has the versatility to play guard, and I think that is something that they like to do. Duke Tobin talked to the media yesterday and said how versatility matters. Grant is a guy that can do that. I'm making the selection of Charles Grant from William & Mary because I think that this is what the Bengals would do in this situation. And I try to operate as much from a scope of reality as I can. So there we go. Not a Michigan player yet. See? 119. No trade offers. All right. I'm back on the board here at 122. So let's get back up into the top. They did do a top 30 visit with Grant as well. Ryan, you are absolutely right. You are. And yeah, Joey B behind that line could be nice. Invest in the trenches, baby. That's what this draft's got to be all about for me is the trenches, baby. Both sides of the ball. Trenches, trenches, trenches. All right, let's take a look. We're back. Pick 119. We got another pick coming up at 122. Do I get another Georgia guard? No, I don't because I just drafted. Okay. Probably not realistic. And I'll wait for the chat to tell me. But how do I not take Josiah Stewart here? You're right. It does feel a lot like a Kaiser spot at 119. We know Al's going to get one of his guys. Josiah Stewart staring me right in the face. I know I drafted an edge already, but can you ever have enough pass rush, especially with the Trey Hendrickson thing going on, with questions about everybody else in the defensive end room? Whew. I want to roll the dice and get Stewart here and hope that Kaiser's going to be there at 122. Maybe I'm Homer, but I think Josiah Stewart has a lot of upside. We're going to do it. Damn. That looks like a good trade offer. I don't care about next year's 7th. What the fuck ever. 143, 180, 213, and 215? Man. Dropping back a lot in this round. I'm thinking about that hard. I'm thinking about that very hard. Getting back 180. What do you mean by roster spots? We don't have that many roster spots where? The defensive end room? You've got Trey, Murphy, Osai, Sample. We added Gillott, and then they're probably not going to keep 6. You're right. But can these guys be better than Cam Sample? And I think Duke said that the roster was at 72 already. You got to cut down to 53, 48 dress on game day. I think you're right. I don't think we have the roster spots to do this trade. We're going to stay here. We're going to stay put. We're going to stick to the plan. We're going to stick to the plan. Where is he at? We're going to give Al Golden his Notre Dame linebacker and go with Jack Kaiser. And now we're back. CJ West still on the board. Malachi Moore is a safety that I think has upside but concerns. They have met with JJ Puget, I think is his last name. I know that they've met with him. there's probably real interest there. No quarterbacks. I could see them maybe taking a look at Seth McLaughlin, depending on his injury. He popped his Achilles, I think, right before the playoffs last year. But I think that they may be starting to look for the potential Ted Karras replacement after his contract. And you're right, JJ scored some touchdowns. Big guy, playing like William the Fridge Perry down there at Ole Miss. That is something that happened. He could be a late round running back. I know that they met with him. No, I mean, nothing else is really jumping off the page here. CJ West from Indiana could be good. I've already gotten a DT though. I want to go. I want to go with Malachi Moore here. I think that there's something there. But I got to look through everything. Don't need a linebacker. Don't need Cody Simon. Kyle McCord. So let me look at the defensive tackle room here. We've got Chris Jenkins, McKinley Jackson in there. They signed I keep forgetting his name, the guy from the Packers. I've drafted Walter Nolan. Do I add CJ West to that? I mean, he's got a 113 ranking. I'm picking here. You know, pretty late in the round. What am I at? 153? 153. He is kind of the best player available. Oh, man. Running back or tight end. Let's see. Gadsden from Syracuse is out there for a tight end. Running back from Rutgers is there. Bringstool from Clemson. Rashard Smith. Corey Kiner. They did have some interest in Corey Kiner. I know he was there at the local pro day. Oh, man. Luke Kandra's there. If you want another guard prospect that I know that there have been some connections and interest in. See, this is where it gets tough because these are guys that are like, you know, some about some of them and not a lot about other ones. This is tough. Me personally, I think I'm taking Malachi Moore. I thought that there was something in him. I'm making a selfish pick to keep this thing moving. We're getting close to an hour anyway. So I went Malachi Moore there. We are looking at Jack Nelson, Wisconsin lineman. Those typically work out pretty well. I feel like this is a spot where you take Corey Kiner. I like Corey Kiner. He was very good on my NCAA 25 team. And I do think that how many running backs do you think they're going to carry? Chase Brown, Moss, Prine. Yeah, this could be your fourth running back. We're going to go Corey Kiner. We're going to bring UC Bearcat to Cincinnati. And I think that's it for me, actually. I think we're all done. All right, here's my haul. Jay Higgins is a dog. We already took Jack Kaiser. Or Jay Higgins, I think, would have been in there more. So here's what we're looking at. Ended up with 8 picks in this draft after some wheeling and dealing. Ellie De La Cruz gets through the gap. That's a single. He's not going to turn it. Ellie's on base. Reds up 2-1, top of the 6th. Ellie De La Cruz on base, no out. Maybe they get something going. All right, so we get Walter Nolan in the first. Tate Ratledge, my sweet, sweet prince. Tate Ratledge in the second round at 51 after a trade. Ashton Gillette, Charles Grant, Josiah Stewart, Jack Kaiser, Malachi Moore, and Corey Kiner. Solid draft for a non-ball knower. I thought so too. Some collaboration from the chat. Hey, I'm not a selfish GM. I'm not afraid to ask the room for help. and ideas and questions. I'm not so full of myself that I can't ask the room. My ass is starting to hurt from this chair. I know that. You have done well to improve our team, GM Garrison. Yeah. I think that's a solid draft for a GM. Now, obviously, all these guys could fucking stink. We don't know. Mid ball knower. Imagine this draft if I did know ball. No shit, right? Did Austin Hayes just get hit in the fucking head by a pitch? No, he didn't get hit, but he about did. That boy hit the dirt. I don't know if you're watching the game or not, but damn, I took that boy's face off. Yeah, if I knew ball, this would probably be a lot better. But I like this draft. I'm not gonna lie. I think this draft turned out all right. I think you get position of need pretty much everywhere. If you want your, because I still think that there's a realistic possibility that Cody Ford is probably your starting left guard. He could win or lose that job, but I think that that's possible. So if you're thinking that way, you get Walter Nolan, who's going to help your D-line. You get a starter in Ratledge with Cody Ford on the opposite side, an edge to infuse talent into the room. Charles Grant, a guy that can work at tackle and guard. You need Cody Ford was your swing guy last year that can play tackle or guard in the event of an injury. You need to have another one of those. Maybe that's Charles Grant. Josiah Stewart, untapped potential there. Worked with Wink Martindale in an NFL-style offense. I think that with the right coaching, he could turn into a guy that's pretty damn solid. Jack Kaiser, familiarity with Al Golden. He's going to know the scheme. He's going to know what Golden expects out of a linebacker. It is a position of need because we don't know what's happening with Jermaine Pratt as of yet. As of right now, he's just on the team, but he's not there for voluntary stuff. He wants out. Malachi Moore, kind of a late-round flyer. Can we turn this potential into real talent and a guy that we can play if we need to? And then Corey Connor, just a little bit of added talent into the running game room. Good GMs crowdsource info. That's right. Yeah. You think what's his name, buddy from Roseman from the Eagles? You think he just does it all himself? He's got a team. And you guys are my team. Did you order a mullet off Amazon in support of Tate's flow? No, because I'll just grow mine back. Have you guys seen it? Have you guys seen it? I'm gonna bring it up. I'm gonna do this on the fly. We may be a little bit late getting off, but that's okay. I actually tweeted this already. I'm going to make this graphic on the fly right here on the old iPhone for you guys to show you what the future of football in Cincinnati could honestly look like. If the Bengals make it happen and allow it to happen, that's what we're going to look at right now. It's on the way. Don't worry. We're going to get there. Now, it's going to be my best work because I did it right here on the fly. But we could have this. This could be Cincinnati. I didn't change the words at the top. I'm an idiot. But this gets the picture on here quick. Did Vic bring me any food? She's not even home yet, dude. I don't know where she's at, honestly. But, I mean, couple solid mullets back there. I'll just grow mine back. I don't need to buy one on Amazon. I got the real thing. Brent was the sculptor of that mullet. That picture that you're looking at, Wedge, was taken probably in the parking lot of All Sports Barbers in Centerville. Shout out for Yad. That's probably no less than 5 minutes after Brent shaped my mullet that day. That was the question with what's the draft party fit? Can't grow it back in 3 days. Oh, I'm going to tell you this, Breezy. If I can get a mullet wig by Friday, I'll wear it. I don't know if I'll wear it the whole time, if I'll just have it tucked away in case that's the pick. I'm going to look into mullet wigs on Amazon. If I can have one here Friday before I get to the Project Game Day draft party at the Folding Warehouse, you may just see that happen. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. So that's where we're at. I think a solid mock draft, some stadium stuff. Mike Hilton's gone, new slot corner. Good time with the chat. Carry me through this solo show while Ron is in parts unknown, where if he told us he'd have to kill us. Red's got the bases. One on first, one on second. Gavin Lux up to bat. He's got to give us a fucking nuke to send us out of here. You guys hear that mower? That's my other neighbor. They're talking shit. I gotta get to the lawn. It looks like I'm mowing tomorrow. This is. Before we depart, how's the golf game looking? If you guys follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Twitter is my main home, but I post a lot of stories on Instagram at Drew S. Garrison. I tried to buy at Drew Garrison from the guy that owned it, and he wanted way too much money, and he doesn't even post on there. The guy's a dick. But I've been playing a lot of golf. I bought new golf clubs, bought new golf shoes, bought new golf clothes. Lots to work on in the golf game. I played last night after work. Shout out Mound Golf Course, Miamisburg, Ohio. And I pulled up to the 8th tee. Pulled up to the 8th tee. 8th hole. Little 9-hole course. I set my driver up. I got in my stance. I got my grip right. I opened my club face. I cocked that joint back. I smoked that thing about 250 yards straight down the middle. I'm probably 15, 20 yards from the pin. I didn't hit the green. It's kind of a long green on the side. So I'm in the fairway, dead center. I'm talking smoked that son of a bitch, dude. Smoked it. I'm like, all right, this is a par 4, I think, actually. It's a par 4. I'm going to get up and down here. I'm going to get a birdie putt. And the way that what had happened was I fucked up. And I don't know. My short game, terrible. Don't know what I'm doing. Chipping, no idea. Putting, I'm all right at putting. So it's a work in progress. I'll continue to play. I've been playing a lot. I'm waiting on the wife to drop the hammer on me for that. I've been pushing the limit a lot here lately. But that's kind of how the game goes sometimes. Reds move the runners to second and third. Candelario, everybody's best friend's back up to bat. And this is a good time to tell you that TickPick's the official ticket provider of Cincy Unfiltered. I looked at this earlier. Let's look at real-time pricing for the Reds' upcoming homestand on the TickPick app. Now, if you're watching at home on a screen and not your phone, scan the QR code. You can download the TickPick app. New users use code Cincy10. Get $10 off your first purchase of $75 or more. Real-time update on Reds ticket prices, April 28th. So Monday, Reds Cardinals. We hate the Cardinals. Cardinals stink. You can get into that game for $10 on TickPick with no fees. You see a ticket for $10, you're going to pay $10 for it. Obviously, they have closer, better seats for a little bit more. You can use code Cincy10, knock $10 off your first order. Tuesday, 3-2-1 night. $3 beers, $2 hot dogs, $1 pop. Get in there for $12 on the TickPick app. And then Wednesday, Reds Cardinals, you can get in there for $10. And then they'll be back May 1st. You can get in there for $7. Fireworks Friday, May 2nd. Cincy hat night. Reds Nationals. You can get in there for $18. I love TickPick because when I see a ticket price, I know I'm going to pay that ticket price. You can track events. You can do a price freeze. They are the official ticket provider of Cincy Unfiltered. Download the TickPick app using the QR code there or find the link on our Twitter page. Download the app. Use code Cincy10. You get $10 off your first purchase of $75 or more. And you're not paying a bunch of service fees. I hate going to StubHub. Fuck StubHub. Excuse me. I hate going to StubHub when I find a ticket for $100, and then by the time I'm checking out, I'm paying $140, $150. You don't have to do that with TickPick. And people say, well, they just build the price of the fees in. Then why are they still so much cheaper than the other guys all the time? Tell me that, because I don't get it. So we love TickPick. We love you guys. We want you guys to save money. We want you guys to save money. We want you guys to have a good time. We're gonna get a get together going for the Cincinnati Reds at some point this year. Shout out to Tick Pick. Shout out to Garage Beer. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to everybody who thinks I don't know ball. Shout out to Tate Ratledge, because by the time we're on this show again next week, you're going to be a Cincinnati Bengal, damn it. I can feel it deep in my plums, Tate. Come protect Joe Burrow. Come get back with your boy, Marius Mims. Let's take this thing to – where's the Super Bowl at this year? San Francisco? Santa Clara? Let's take this thing to Santa Clara on the back of your mullet, Tate. Let's do it. I'm jacked up. We will see you guys in the Discord. Can't wait to see anybody that is going to be at the Project Game Day party on Friday. 6 inches of grass and the ball went 8 yards. Been there, my friend. That's about how it went, John. That is very much how it went. I appreciate everybody that tuned in on a Tuesday night to go through this solo with me. I appreciate all of the people that helped me make selections in my mock draft, because I am so dumb and I don't know ball. But I think we came away with a solid draft. I hope the Bengals do something of the sort. I'm not going to be pissed off about draft selections this year for over 24 hours. I might be pissed for 24 hours, but I'm going to sit back, watch the draft, enjoy it, and hope whoever they do select becomes an absolute dog. But I really want one of those to be Tate Ratledge. That's all I got for you. Drink Garage Beer. Buy your tickets on Tick Pick. Come hang out Friday. I got 2 tickets for sale still. If you want to come to the Project Game Day draft party, one of my friends cannot make it, so I've got 2 back that I can get to you. Let's finish this off by crushing a Garage Beer. I love you all. Can't wait to talk about our draft picks next week. We'll see you then.
Your boys are ready to go. You already know. Grab a Garage Beer, let's flow. No filter needed. Beer's getting deleted. It's the Cincy Unfiltered show. Let's go. Our boys are ready to go. Our boys are ready to go. You already know. Grab a Garage Beer, let's flow. No filter needed. Beer's getting deleted. It's the Cincy Unfiltered show. Let's go.